I'm in one of our newer greenhouses where we're growing cacao trees. What's interesting about growing cacao trees is that if you want to propagate or grow more cacao trees, you harvest a pod off the tree when it's ripe. There's about 35 or 40 beans or seeds inside. Now, when you propagate cacao, you have to take a seed and you have to plant it wet, meaning if I put this in the sun and completely dry it out, that kills the germ, that kills the life force inside of the seed. And so that's why if you go to a seed bank, you'll never see cacao seeds in a seed bank because you cannot save cacao seeds that way. So in order to keep cacao trees growing and going, you have to plant the seeds wet. So as soon as you harvest a pod off the tree, you want to go ahead and put these seeds in a bowl of water if you can't get to them right away, or go ahead and plant them in the ground. And so we typically start them off in little cups because it's a very delicate plant. So if you plant it in the ground, out in the open sun and the wind, it will not survive. You have to baby them for the first several years of their life. And so when the cacao is growing, it grows in a very interesting way. And so it's called a cotyledon, which means leaf seed. So when this grows, it's got one end that will sprout up, and then the other end will put down roots. So whenever you plant the cacao bean, you plant it sideways because you don't want to plant it where it's going to grow upside down and get all twisted. So you plant them in the ground sideways, and then when they begin to grow, the bean itself, the cotyledon, will split open, and cotyledon means leaf seed. And so what's so interesting is that these beans in their raw state, they're either all white, they're kind of pinkish, or they're purple, but when they begin to grow and produce life, they change color. They're changing chemical structures. So the white beans turn green, the purple beans turn a maroonish brown color when they're beginning to grow into a new tree. And so that bean will pop out of the ground, the bean will split open, and that is the first leaves of the cacao tree. And then from there, it will grow more leaves inside. And these take about 2 weeks to pop up, and then you just got to water them and keep them from shade and wind protection for the first couple of years of their life, and then you can dig a hole in the ground and plant them in the ground.